This is Sports Chat with Nat.
Well, we have a last minute weekly live for you. It's a Sunday night special. It's not a midnight special, but it's Sunday night special. We going live because Master T got work and I got working anyway. We live. She'll join me in a minute. I'm going to get started on the NBA because she don't like to hear about that anyway. So listen. The games are so good. Oh, if this is your first time. Oh, here she is. Here she is.
Hey.
It's America.
Hi, y'all. I wasn't ready. I wasn't expecting to come on so fast. Hey, y'all.
I was going to do the NBA till you got here.
Bye.
Do what I was doing. I said I would do the NBA till she get here.
Okay, well, I'll be right back on in a second.
Okay.
Bye.
So what I was going to say is, all right, so now the Lakers are playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. Oh, I was going to say, if this is your first time, we do a weekly live and we talk about anything and we want to chat. We want you to chat with us. And we didn't give you no notice because we just decided to do it at the last minute because work schedules changed. Okay, we lifing over here too, but we trying to be consistent with our weekly live. So anyway, as I was saying, the Lakers are playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, oh, I forgot I'm on this camera. I'm looking there and I forgot I'm here. Okay, so the Lakers are, let me slide over. The Lakers are playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, the series is a 7-game series, but 4 wins and it's over. The Lakers are trailing 3-1. And an interesting stat that I just noticed right before I logged on is for the second straight game, the home team dominated down the stretch. Okay, no problem, which was Minnesota. But the Timberwolves, this is the interesting thing, have outscored the Lakers in the fourth quarter of every game, 4 games, by a total of, wait for it, 105-69. They're beating their tails. Now, I said the other day that LeBron looked really tired. He's 40 years old. And in normal life, a 40-year-old would be tired. So I don't know if Father Time is really catching up. I know the Beijing is wearing out earlier in the game. And so the gray is really protruding out of the beard and everywhere. And this back here is, look, he need to let it go. Shave it all off because it's already about ball. But Luka fell down a lot. He was tripping and over his own feet. And they say he had food poisoning the day before yesterday. But he had a full day of rest, so he was feeling better. He kept falling on the floor, and I guess LeBron is teaching him how to flop real good. So he tried it a couple of times, but it didn't work. So anyway, but LeBron did end up with 27 points, 12 rebounds, his 144th double-double, career double-double in the playoffs, passing Wilt Chamberlain for the 3rd most in NBA history, only trailing my baby Tim Duncan and Magic Johnson. All right. So anyway, that's that series. Now the OKC Thunder, Oklahoma City Thunder, swept the hold on, let me say it right.
Now who could be in here?
They swept the let me go back. The Memphis Grizzlies. But that game was very good. They swept them. The Cavaliers are on the verge of sweeping the Miami Heat. That series is 3-0. 3-0. Now, the Nuggets and the Clippers. Now, I told y'all at the beginning of the playoffs that the 4 and 5 seed would be the most intense games, and they have been. But that series is tied 2-2, and the Nuggets won yesterday 101-99. And the Warriors, without playoff Jimmy Butler, who injured his pelvic, they won over the Rockets 104-93. So that series is 2-1 Golden State, Nuggets tied 2-2, Cavaliers 3-0, and Thunder done swept the Grizzlies. Now, the Knicks are up 3-1 with a very, very controversial win today. Clearly, Josh Hart left his feet and fouled Tim Hardaway Jr. with like 0.something seconds left on the clock. But he clearly fouled him. And they acknowledged their error and said that they did not make the call. But you know what? It needs to be some repercussions for those referees because that is a very detrimental loss. Now, mind you, the Pistons should not have been that in that particular situation. They should have already beat the socks off the Knicks. However, that series could have been tied 2-2, but your missed call, your no call, which was so blatant, it was just too blatant to ignore. But anyway, that final score was 94-93. That series is Knicks 3 to the Pistons 1. Now, the Celtics, their series is 3-1. They are leading the Orlando Magic. They won today 107-98. Now, I just told you about the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards, oh, by the way, had 43 points. 43 points. Let me see what else I want to tell you. The Bucks are in trouble. The Bucks are trailing the Indiana Pacers right now. That game is on TNT, 40-31. 8 minutes left in the second quarter. They are down 2-1, and if the Timberwolves, if the Pacers win, their Bucks will be down 3-1. Only 13 teams have come back from down 3-1 to win the series. Giannis cannot win the game by himself. Let me check these box scores real quick before we get to this exciting NFL stuff that we have got to talk about. She getting ready over there, y'all. She getting ready.
Y'all see, I'm like so intense. I'm looking at everybody's draft grades right now. So
yeah, get that right now. All right, so the game just started right now. Giannis is 3 of 5, Guzman 1 of 3, Lopez 2 of 4. Hey, we shall see. Lopez, we didn't play one whole quarter, and 7-foot Lopez ain't got one rebound. That's just ridiculous. I just don't like it. I don't understand because Halliburton got 3, Nembhard got 2. And everybody else on the Pacers got a rebound. Giannis got 5 rebounds. Lillard got 2. None of the other starters got a rebound. Okay. Not Pacers. Bucks, y'all have got to be a little bit better in sync. Now, tomorrow night, tomorrow, the Cavaliers will put the Heat out of their misery and sweep them tomorrow. That game is at 7:30 on TNT. They should sweep them tomorrow. The Warriors and the Rockets is at 10 o'clock tomorrow on TNT. And I believe the Warriors will win. I think the Rockets won't win tomorrow. Steph Curry will make a lot of threes. He will break a record. Watch what I tell you. I can't think of the rest, but that's it. Yeah, so the Warriors will win tomorrow night. That series will be 3-1. And Jimmy Butler will be back after they get rid of the Rockets.
Not.
Now,
I
although the
believe the
Rockets are
children are our future.
huh?
Not you trying to make a. Not you trying to remix. I believe the children are our future.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all see, I
What?
was over here playing. Not playing. I was looking at my phone trying to think. I was like, what? Continue. I'm
Look,
sorry.
this girl that works on developing podcasts, she told me to be more myself. She said, "You're funny as heck." She said, "Just be you." I said,
Hey.
"Okay." She said, "Incorporate more of your personality."
Okay. Which is definitely you.
So I do believe the Warriors will win tomorrow night, and that'll make it 3-1. Now the Rockets may surprise me and even that series up 2-2. I'm okay with that. But anyway, that's it. Now Tuesday night, if the Knicks win, that series is over. If the Celtics win, that series is over. And the Clippers and Nuggets will still be playing because that series is tied at 2. All right, that's all of the NBA. Now, NCAA women's basketball. I'd be lying if I say I didn't get kind of emotional. Malaysia Fuwali of South Carolina Gamecocks transferred to LSU. Now, she was talking about she got to do what's best for her family. So I guess it was a financial move because her family is in South Carolina. So apparently it had to be money. Now, I know she wants to come off the be a starter, but her performance was very sporadic. She scored 21 points one game. The next game, she'd have 5 turnovers and 7 points. That is not going to be starting material, baby doll. So you go on over there to Kim Mulkey at LSU and let me know how it turned out for you down there in the Bayou. But, I mean, now, the girl that was the leading scorer for NCAA from Florida State, she transferred to South Carolina. So I guess Malaysia felt like, well, I don't stand a chance to start if the leading scorer is coming over. Okay, bye. But they got a lot of guards over there at LSU. Flo J Johnson, she over there. Flau'jae, she over there. They got other guards over there. So I don't know what you think you're going to do over at LSU. And Kim Mulkey is not Dawn Staley. She ain't going to care about you like a mama. I'm going to let you know that. Be aware. You don't be going over there looking for no hugs and kisses like Dawn give you because you ain't getting it, okay? Now, South Carolina did get a 6'6" transfer student in, a 6'6" girl coming in. Because I said all last season, they need another big body. And she said she's been studying Camila Cardoso's videos and everything like that. And Chloe Kitts did get engaged to her fiance. He's now her fiance. Let me see. That's NCAA. Women's. I don't know anything about the men's right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't look nothing up. I was just kind of really following South Carolina, and they pop up on because they're one of my favorites. Save that info pops up. All right, so that's NBA, NCAA. Now, let's get to the NFL. Are you ready for some football?
Oh my God.
Let's go.
First off, I'm sorry. In the middle of I guess some of y'all probably was thinking, why was I having my mouth open reading? Because I read something that I didn't know. In a second, I was going on the stuff because it was. So we'll start with the Ravens because this is really what I was just doing right quick. So the Ravens, they were talking because the headline was Ravens pick Luke NFL draft for Tucker's future uncertain. So I was trying to figure out what's going on with Justin Tucker. I thought it was just an injury, right?
Oh no, the sexual charges.
Remember, guys, So I always have to tell people when they be like, "Where you been at, Master Tia? You be under the rock?" No, I be in the hospital in 4 walls. Like I be seeing.
Oh yeah.
I only see the ER. So a lot of times with major stuff, anything, I'm usually a little late because I'll be like, "What?" But I didn't know he had 16 inappropriate like behavior for massage therapists. Are we looking at another Deshaun Watson case?
They kept that so quiet during the season.
They
That's
did.
why he was missing all them field goals. His mind won't right. He knew what was coming. He knew what was brewing. And yes, that was going on during the season. They kept it quiet till right at the end.
They did a really good. I have to say they did a good job of keeping that quiet.
Yes.
I didn't even know until now. But the only reason why they're putting it back out is because they said this is the first time in 30-year history that they've drafted. The Ravens have drafted a kicker.
A kicker. Yeah.
Yeah. 30-year history. So that's that was interesting. Of course, that was always at the bottom of Draft Top, but I guess we might as well just start off with the top of the headline news of Draft Top. As once again, I've been repping Deion Sanders jersey pretty much all weekend, except on Thursday. I rep my Atlanta jersey. Y'all can look at that on our page. I took a lot of pictures while I was at the draft, and I had a different 404, like Falcon. It wasn't a Atlanta jersey. It was at Atlanta City, like City of Atlanta, like jersey, but it still was representing my Falcons. But we're gonna talk about this whole Deion Sanders thing with Morris Shador, and of course, it goes with my Falcons now too. So I guess let's start off with, I guess we want to talk about what in the world when it comes to him being drafted so late, and then we'll lead on to who pranked him.
Okay. I have said from the beginning that I think he got drafted so late because of his mouth. His mouth, there's a way to say that my work ethic, I'm working one-on-one with Tom Brady. I work really hard. I got a strong work ethic. I'm really strong. Other than y'all don't like my daddy, so it's a problem with our name. And I've done all of this. And yeah, okay, you did some stuff, but you ain't the best college quarterback ever. You is not the best ever.
Well, even if he was, somebody's gonna outrank him anyway. Exactly. All the time. Somebody's always gonna come that's bigger.
Exactly.
Better,
so faster, first of all, his mouth. I've read multiple reports that he interviewed very poorly because they said the meetings didn't go well. Now, they didn't say exactly why, but the word arrogance came out more than once from different sources. And I thought about it. Tomlin didn't say much about it, said it went well. But just like a baby know who they can grab something at or who they can pick with, because they know one person going to say, and the other one going to say, don't do that. A baby know, he knew how to act when he went certain places, I believe, because we as humans, and we know how to code switch. We do it.
See, go ahead.
I just think he's arrogant. I think that was half of the problem. And then his daddy went on Tamron Hall and said there were teams that he would not allow him to play with.
Okay, so I saw the Tamron Hall thing. I think it's hilarious because honestly, what he said on Tamron Hall kind of made me laugh because at the same time, what he said, it almost reminded me of something like my mama would say. Like, the thing about it is, if you are the forefront person of it, why would you not like try to steer your child in the right direction of it? Like how he said at the end when she said, like, oh, so what happens if he don't listen to you? What you mean he ain't gonna listen to me? Like, why wouldn't I listen to the person who actually went ahead of me and He know, I get it. I did hear about the part with certain teams back then with it, but maybe he got to change your heart with some of them too with it, because remember that episode probably was taped a year ago, probably before all certain moves in the offices were made and stuff like that. But he also knows the in and outs of what what general team managers, all that other stuff will like work well with his son too, of developing him. Because we also know multiple times in the NFL, we've said this multiple times, that sometimes that the team that the person is drafted to does not develop them very well. Like, instance, Deion Sanders, for instance. Deion was with us. He was great as primetime there, but he didn't really get, for real, all the stuff that he needed to go until he was a Cowboy. Same thing with Brett Favre. He sat on bench behind third string. All of a sudden, he goes in Green Bay and does that. So sometimes you do want to be like, okay, I want your child, like, in a sense, if you're wanting your child to go someplace and you used to play in the NFL, to be like, I know what team's going to develop him better and all the other stuff. Now, the arrogance, I can't really say anything because I haven't really seen interviews with him or anything like that. But all the things I have seen of him, he's pretty like, or when I've seen him, he's just chill. He seems like a very like, he's a 22-year-old, like 22, 23-year-old. The whole incidents of they were saying like, you need to humble yourself and all this other stuff is interesting because it's like, well, all right, if he was privileged this way, and he was acting the way that he would this still be the incident of it, or would he be considered arrogant and all this other stuff? And even let's even go on to who was the prank phone call from. The prank phone call was from our Falcons defensive coordinator's son. Somehow they said that he unintentionally, which I think that is BS, he went in, he saw his dad's computer open and saw his thing. And I don't know how you unintentionally write a number down and decide to call him. But yet they said the league is not pressing charge and like doing anything against it. But why are you not doing anything on this? But if it was a regular schmegular dude, or even a person, a POC, person of color, if people are trying to figure it out, I think it would be a whole different thing. I don't like to throw race into certain things, but I feel like this was another kind of shot in things because we know that and then there was a whole thing also, people I heard where they were saying like, well, your dad is this. So it's like, why in the world should he, in a sense that his dad like made it a lifestyle for him that he didn't have to struggle and stuff like that, where other races and people have done for their kids? Why is it a problem that now that he's out here showing it? I mean, I went to school with people who had like generations of wealth and stuff like that. I'm not sitting there going like, oh, look, if their parent end up helping them get to something there for and they didn't have to struggle for it, why are we doing that? Because I feel like that's where it is, because Shedeur is not the first, he's not the first son of an NFL player getting into the league. We have multiple kids who've done like that. I think the difference is that his is more of a prime time name that most people know of and stuff. Nobody was doing the same thing when Bronny was trying to get in, but also at the same time, Bronny don't want to play in the league. That's also a thing. Bronny don't want to play. I don't think people were like, oh, he's arrogant, blah, 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 blah. Like, it wasn't such a big deal. They was making it so that him and LeBron could play on the same team. But yet now we're in a totally different flip it with it. Why are we having so much of a bigger issue? The fact of the matter is that if they were trying to like say, oh, we don't want him because he's creating all this hoopla, I think the fact that you waited for him to get to the 5th round to say, oh, we're sending a message, you pretty much made him now more of a talking point of the NFL draft than anything, because of what it was. Like, when everybody's sitting here saying like, why are you waiting so long? Okay, if you want to put down the 1st round, that's fine and everything like that, but you going down to the 5th, and most people said that he was pretty much he's pretty, I mean, even though it wasn't a quarterback heavy draft and great, they knew that he was going to be somewhere in the top, like at least top 50. So for all of that with it, it was It was a very interesting 3 days.
Now, Eli Manning's daddy was vocal about where he wanted him to go. He was very vocal. I forgot the team if that he said my son ain't playing there, and Eli went to the Giants. Okay. Mm-hmm. But for me, watching Eli and his daddy and Shedeur and Deion, one of the things that stands out to me is the arrogance. I'm going to be honest with you. I watched both of them. Eli do look like he wrote. Okay, shut up. I was going to say something.
I was about to say, also, Eli is not even nowhere near arrogant. He don't even look like
he's not. That's my point. But that's my point. Shedeur is arrogant. Let's just own it. He is arrogant. And I'm going to say this about another difference I noticed with Archie and Eli. They had money. He was rich. Archie Manning was rich. Peyton, his brother, was rich. He had money. But did he put $10,000, $20,000, $500,000 around his neck in diamonds? No.
But also look at the different times of this.
Wait a minute, though. I understand it's a different time. But you got to also understand, you trying to get hired by people that don't like that. Then you can dress like you want to dress when you go to your picnic or your party at your house. But when you go to look for a job, you got to dress like for that job. But these kids have gotten, this generation has gotten so, I'm going to wear what I want. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to go where I want. I'm going to say what I want. Okay, go ahead. But the owner said, you're not going to work for us, and we're not going to draft you. And I really believe, and I heard somebody else say, it was Stephen A. And I really believe, just like they meet and they talk about everything else, about the rules and everything else, they got together and they talked and they said, we ain't going to draft him until whenever. They said it. I'll say it again. I ain't scared to say it. I believe they did it. We'll prove our point. Now he can get in there and show out and throw 1,000,000 touchdowns and do everything and shut him up. My mom always said you can show him better than you can tell him. He's so busy trying to tell him. Now, I did go back and look because I wanted to make sure that he was worthy of the first, second, third round. I wanted to make sure. 74% completion. It was the highest. He had 10 interceptions, 37 touchdowns. Okay. Some people had more. Some people had less interceptions. But if you ask me, do I want Billy Bob? They got 100 touchdowns and a good attitude, or Jeffrey with 75 and a bad attitude, or arrogant to the point where the media following him around? He is bigger than my team. He's everybody there to interview him, not my team. I don't want him. I don't want him. It's a distraction in itself.
Well, the interesting part about it is with somebody, I think Rich Eisen said it too on the draft part, where he was saying like how interesting enough forward is like all that outside. Most of the time when people, like you said, when people are drafted lower, when we've had great prospects that have drafted lower, it's usually because of an injury or off
right.
Like off camera issues, which is usually them drinking or some like type of legal thing like that. But his was not. It's more of a personality thing, which makes it a little bit harder because this is the first time ever, and I feel like probably in NFL history that this is like draft history that this has happened, where it's like they're targeting with the personality issue in a sense. But I think but the thing about it is, look at all of our we have other arrogant players who are like that. But I guess the difference is they're not, quote unquote, they wasn't famous before. Like look at like some of our if we would take some of our older like veteran players, even some of our Hall of Famers, if we would switch the times and they were like in camera, like all the media, social media, and all this stuff was out, like videos and stuff like that, do you think that we would still have any team like T.O., Ocho Cinco, Antonio Brown? Like, if we could change up the time frame of all that, because all of them, when they got on the field and when social media, all that stuff, they were all up in their junk. And we see them and how we do that. But I know this is after that they've like been on the field and stuff. But it's like we only used to hear about it, like of what they did and stuff like that. But if they were in 2025, when this is a whole big thing, if everybody has their phone out, they, hey, you know I'm out here in it, man. Like, what they be doing? Will we be still having this thing? Because that would be a whole issue with the owners too. Because even one of the guys said it. I know he was pretty much saying it with Shedeur, but he was saying it to a generalized. And I do agree with him finally putting it in a generalized statement, because Shedeur's not the only one that has a camera phone. Like, Travis Huntley had freaking Lil Wayne next to him at the draft and stuff like that. Like, you know, these people are all this other stuff. And I mean, I do agree with him saying like, hey, I don't want to see you on social media talking about what you're doing. Like, just do it. Just go work out. Don't show us everything. And that's not just towards Shedeur. That's to all of the draft prospects. Like he said, it don't matter what number you got drafted at. Tom Brady, one pick, 199.
Yeah,
and then what you call it? But it doesn't matter what number you are, is what you come out. I mean, Jaden was number 2. Look at how awesome he did this last season. His first rookie season.
Now, Caleb Chicago Williams, right? He didn't do the combine and all that, and he was out. I've been doing this, and I've been. He was arrogant, and look now.
Exactly, but
look at his season. Look, he was number 1, and he could have been number 55 because he sucked. Now he sucked.
He did.
So one other thing, Shedeur didn't do pro day. He didn't do the combine. He didn't do none of that. So to a lot of people, that looked arrogant. That looked privileged, and that we using the word. He was privileged. I'm not going. I'm not doing it. And I think all of that rolled up in with the arrogance. I think all of that cost him. I do. And I pulled up, yes, Johnny Manziel was widely perceived as arrogant.
Exactly.
And they called him up. One of the coaches after his interview called him a arrogant prick. But his career sucked as well. His arrogance overtook whatever football skills he had because he was so busy being arrogant. Now, I hope Shedeur, I'm going to tell you something else. I thought about this on the porch.
Not on the porch.
Dion is always quoting scriptures and what the Lord has said and what the word said. Now, I know for a fact, I don't know what scripture it is, but the word said, don't brag on yourself. Let other people brag on you. But and I'm just, if you're going to take the Bible and quote the Bible, you quote all of it. Use all of it. Don't pick and choose what you use and decide when you're going to be right. I know we all mess up and we all make mistakes. But I think Shedeur's mouth and Dion's mouth did cost him some draft.
But the thing about it is, let's go back to Johnny Manziel, what you said. Because I watched this documentary and everything, and I just had to look up what number was he drafted? Johnny Manziel was drafted number 22nd pick in the 2024 draft, right? Johnny Manziel, prior to it, they made all this hoopla stuff. Yes, he was definitely privileged. He was out here in the club scenes, all this stuff, getting in trouble, and everybody still, whatchamacallit. But then let's go on with that. What about his arrogance and his mouth and stuff? That didn't cost them any draft picks, did he? It didn't cost it. They still do that. So what's the difference between Johnny and Shedeur? When Johnny also was into drugs and everybody knew that and was out in these parties, Shedeur ain't out in these celebrity streets like that. doing
What you
drugs.
say? Wait a minute.
I know.
What you say? Oh,
I know.
okay.
I know that's really the issue
I
because
ain't say nothing. Did I say anything?
the signs that you showed up like answered my question. I knew that was the answer.
Hey,
I'm just saying, but the difference is it's very interesting when you showed up those things. One of those, it's okay to be confident and arrogant that people think is awesome,
listen.
right? But the other one, when you come across as confident, and it comes across as arrogance, that you're entitled and stuff like that, and you need to earn your keep, and that most of the time when these people are being drafted, they're changing their life and their whole family's life. But in this time, we're not changing our life and anything like that. We're just maintaining it.
Well, the Hart, Lord, he getting taken off the court.
Who?
Damian Lillard.
Why? He hurt?
I don't know. I'll find out in a minute. The sad reality is, let's be real. Oh, a left Achilles tear.
Oh, dang. He out. He gonna be out for a minute.
He just came back from a blood clot in his leg.
Oh, he needs to work though. I don't want
to sit down.
Yeah, he may sit out for like a season.
The harsh reality is things are still not fair.
No.
Things are still not even.
No.
If you were to put the stats on the paper with no picture, no demographic information, just the numbers. They couldn't see who the person was. Maybe that's how they need to draft from now on. Just sign a number. You don't know no name. You don't know no face. You don't know no race. You don't know no parents. All you see is the stats. Would that make it fair? Would that make it fair? You interview with him. Would that make it fair? I'm just saying. I know it wouldn't. And I know it's not going to happen. But would that make it more fair if you just look at the stats and you not know whether it's Johnny Manziel or Shador being arrogant, or is it Jaden or Caleb or Bo or what's the other boy? The other rookie. I can't think of his name right now.
CJ?
I was trying to stay in the same class. Yeah, I was trying to stay in this class, but do we just look at the stats? Do we just look at but we know that ain't what we look at.
But also at the same time, I do agree with that part. If you do look at stats part, then yes. But the only thing is the interview part just helps to see if they gel with your team. But the question that matter is, we don't know as coaches, well, as the general population, I was talking to somebody and they said it too. We don't know as the general population what the coaches and owners, GMs, what they're really looking for in a draft process. We just look at it and says, hey, they need a cornerback, they need a quarterback, they need defense, offense, whatever. We look at it in our mindset as stats. We're like, yo, y'all sucked last year on the offensive line. You need to get some offense, man. You need some linemen. That's all you need to figure out. You need to draft all of that. That's what you do. But in their mind, they're like, okay, we got this lineman. Now we need to see, okay. This is the number one person, but actually the number 50th person actually fits well with our organization and what we like really are thinking, like as far as like our legacy of what we want to have. Like, so they're probably more drafting on like, oh, what personality or what do we want as the whole as collaborative of like, this is what our organization should look like, versus when we draft, we're like, who putting up numbers?
The interview part, look, do it like the Masked Singer. You don't know who nobody is. I'm just saying, the only way to eliminate the bias, the prejudice, call it what it is, the racism.
Yeah.
The only way to eliminate it is to cover up the skin color.
That was, that would be an interesting process if they actually did that and said, hey, you guys, you're just going to come in as numbers. We have your stats and stuff. I mean, they might technically figure out who it is based off of like the school they went to and numbers. Because they still have to know. They still have to know what school and numbers they want. Like school.
Why? You don't need to know the school. Know the numbers. Damn the school. Oh, sorry. Just know the numbers. How many touchdowns did he get? How many interceptions did he have? It don't matter whether he went to Chuckatuck or Harvard. How many touchdowns did he have? That's why Division II and HBCUs keep getting left out. Somebody can be down there running 5,000 yards, but because they're not at Alabama or Georgia or Texas A&M or UCLA, they get overlooked because they're at HBCU, but they down there running on the same 100-yard field, running 25 touchdowns in a season, 450 yards a game. They average. Come on.
Speaking of HBCU draft picks, the Ravens picked a HBCU draft. His name is Carson Vincent. He went to he was an offensive lineman. He went to the Ravens. He was drafted. He went to Alabama A&M.
One season there was a lot of them. Season there were quite a few.
This was the last time since 2023. That was the last time somebody else got drafted. I don't know. I do remember that.
It's just not fair. It's just not balanced. It's not balanced because half of the people that they draft don't even make it. And some of these players that said the HBCU played 10 times harder, got better work ethic, all of that, got better personalities, better grades, all of that, got the same major as some of them other folks. And you, just because he went to Harvard and Stanford and Auburn and Notre Dame and Army, and just because they went there, they get a better shot than somebody that went to an HBCU and bust their butt.
And to answer your question, it was 2022 and it was 4.
A whole 4.
4. And they said that is ridiculous. 4 of the best.
4.
Best. The crazy part is,
really,
Deion, when he went to Jackson State, that was supposed to do it. And the year that happened, nobody got drafted in the NFL from an HBCU, which part of me thinks that was also a nice little power move by the owners with that too, and said, hey, we don't care who you are with it. I mean, we have a lot of past NFL players who have gone back to HBCUs to coach. Eddie George was the coach at TSU for a minute. As we see.
And Ed Reed went over to one school and it was so raggedy.
Oh yeah,
he left before he even started.
They was mad at what he told him what he wanted, and then of course now Michael Vick is going to Norfolk State.
Norfolk. Just I know it's spelled Norfolk, but we just say Norfolk. That's it. Just on TV, it'd be cracking me up. They'd be saying Norfolk State. I'm sorry. Oh God.
Norfolk. That's all right.
Norfolk. That's like just chop it up real short. Norfolk. That's it. Norfolk.
It's all right. It's like how what people say Xavier, and I'm like, it's not Xavier. It's Xavier. Because the one in Ohio is actually Xavier. The one in New Orleans, XU, place. Y'all know I'm an XU graduate. It's Xavier.
Exactly.
Xavier, not X. You don't pronounce the X. It's
exactly. Xavier. Yeah. So Norfolk State.
Norfolk
State. So but Vic is over there, and he bringing some other people in, and we'll see. And now Allen Iverson has been over, and Allen Iverson, if y'all think he played good basketball on the football field,
who?
Allen Iverson, AI. Honey.
He used to play football?
Let me tell you something. He had his choice between football and basketball.
What was he?
On the football field, he looked like Patrick Mahomes. Patrick.
He used to be a quarterback?
Yes, sir. Girl. He looked better on the football field than he did on the basketball court.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. My ex-husband came home talking about this boy on the football field. I was like, yeah, whatever. My first game seeing that boy live on the football field, I was amazed. I was like, oh my God, who is this boy? Then I saw him on the basketball court. I was like, oh my God, this boy is amazing. Phenomenal. He's been over at Norfolk State.
Okay.
I could see him working with the quarterbacks. I could see him doing some things. So it shocks me that 70, 75, 80% of the players in the NFL, what's the percentage?
For what?
POC.
Mm.
Yeah. So it shocks me that with that number, which I'm sure is at least 60, 70, if not 80. I think it's about 70 something.
It is, because it definitely doesn't tell me the number, but it has a significant representation. A majority of the NFL players making roster.
Yeah. True. So it surprises me that, no, it don't. It does, but it doesn't. Surprise me that they don't look at HBCUs for players, because you're not gonna tell me that there ain't no linebackers and it ain't no centers and quarterbacks at no HBCUs that ain't playing. You ain't gonna tell me that. You ain't gonna tell me that. I don't believe it.
Pretty sad too that's why they will have to turn up going to the. I'm a product of two of them, and I enjoyed my times at HBCUs. It was a great experience. I ended up going to a PWI for nursing school, and it was great too. I had a totally different experience, but it was something about when I went to an HBCU, it was just amazing. I felt like a family and stuff. Like, I know most of the other schools they're big, and there are people who will say like, oh, I'm just a number and stuff. Like, go to college in general, people be like, oh, but that was one thing. It was not like I was not a number. Like I was
yes.
Professors knew who I was.
Exactly.
Even with a big classroom full of people, they knew who I was. Like, it wasn't that I was a certain number and I had to go to their office hours and that's when they knew me. No, they knew me from in class of where I sat at. Oh, you wasn't in class today? Yeah.
Listen, I had a professor. I forget the subject. This dude was blind. First day of class, you had to go in front of the class. You had to speak. You had to turn around in a complete circle. You had to say your name, where you were from, your major, and everything. Stand there for a minute and turn all the way around. Make a complete circle and go sit down.
I thought you was gonna say. I thought he was gonna feel your arm like in Ray Charles.
No, he didn't touch you. He just smelled you. You could be walking down the hallway.
Wow.
Miss Whitehurst, you going to class? And I'm like, you tapping your stick out of ham sandwich, you know it's me. But he could identify you anywhere on that campus.
Wow, that's amazing.
And so those were the kind of things. And then my English professor, she listened to me. She was like, you need to be a sports journalist, because she heard me talking and she knew I was a good writer. And she said I need to be a sports journalist back when I was 18, 19 years old. And here I am, getting ready to be 65, and I'm just now in our fourth year of this.
Yeah.
But she saw that in me way back then.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it's more of a family thing. You see them in the community. You learn that you are your brother's keeper. And that's biblical. You really learn that and you feel that. Now, I'm not saying you don't feel it at other schools, but you really feel it at an HBCU. I challenge anybody, go to a HBCU homecoming. I challenge anybody listening to us. I challenge you to go to a HBCU homecoming game. You ain't even got to go in the stadium. Go to the campus.
Go to tailgate outside of it.
Yeah, go to the tailgate, go to the parade, go to anything. Pick one of the activities. I promise you, just go to the city. If you just go to the city.
I feel like you also have a little bit more pride into it too. I feel like with other big schools, you're only having more pride because it was like, oh, I went to UGA, I went to like Auburn, just because they're big name schools and stuff like that, right? Part of like the Big Ten, SEC, and stuff like that. It's something about when you be like, I went to HBCU, and everybody be like, oh, I did too. It's like, even with it, you become you're like each other's cousins or something at an HBCU. Like, I went to the Celebration Bowl when they had it down here, right? When what was it? Howard and FAMU, I think we're playing, right? I ended up wearing Howard's colors and stuff. And my friend who went to Howard was like, why didn't you wear your Xavier stuff? And I was like, I didn't think about it and stuff. And she was like, and I was like, because y'all was playing, not me. I want to rep y'all, your stuff. And she was like, girl, you could put your stuff on. Like, you part of the HBC family. You like a cousin. I was like, you right. I could have.
Yeah. So,
I know we got it off.
And another thing about HBCU, the coaches at HBCU, it's a different thing. Because earlier I was talking about Cunningham for the Detroit Pistons. He had 10 turnovers in the first half alone. Him by himself. He was just terrible. Ball every which way. Ball everywhere. Our old football coach, if the running back fumbled the ball Friday night, Monday when he came to school,
he was carrying that football
all day. All day. And he had it positioned right all day, Monday, all day. Did he fumble anymore? No. But always.
It became an embarrassment after that.
I said if he was on my team, he'd be carrying that basketball all day. But so now listen, I know we kind of jumped around, but
do you want to hear everybody's draft grades?
Come on with them draft grades, girl. Come on with them grades, girl. Come on.
Okay, so it's really interesting. So I'm on NFL One. I was trying to look and see for all together because obviously each website is going to give something different. I couldn't somehow get onto ESPN's one, but I was looking at NFL's one, right? And it's very interesting because no one got lower than a B- on theirs. They said everybody did well on this one. Don't really know how, but hey. Arizona Cardinals got an A-. My Falcons got a B-. The Baltimore Ravens to them got an A. The Buffalo Bills overall got a B+. Carolina Panthers got a B-. Chicago Bears was a B+. Cincinnati Bengals was a B-. The Browns got a B+. The Dallas Cowboys got an A-. Broncos got a B+. Detroit Lions got a B. Packers got an A-.
And where you say you looking at on yours?
This is NFL. Like NFL.com. This is theirs. ESPN has it.
Okay, because I'm on ESPN Plus.
I can't get into the plus one. I was trying to see what theirs was because theirs was totally different. They're a little bit harsh because I think they gave us a C from what I saw. I think they gave us an F for the trade that we have, and I was like, yo, I know that was whatchamacallit, but as Falcons fans, oh yeah, I'll go back to that night in a minute.
Wait a minute, you go ahead. Let me see what you said they gave you.
I think they gave us like a C overall or something. I think I randomly saw it, but I think for like the round one for our like the trade that we did to like move up to get our second draft, the James Pierce in like pick 26 when we traded with the Rams, they made it an F. But hey,
good Lord, where you at?
That was what I read earlier. Maybe it was on like day one or something. But Colts got an A, Jaguars got an A-, Chiefs got an A-, Raiders got an A. They were just giving out A's and B's on this whole time. I was like, yo, y'all didn't give no type of depth in this. A minus, B plus. Oh yeah, A minus was the Chargers. Rams was a B plus. Dolphins B plus. Vikings B. Patriots B plus. Saints B minus. Giants A. Jets B plus. Eagles A minus. Steelers A. 49ers B plus. Seahawks A minus. Bucks B plus. Titans A. Commanders B. I was like, okay, y'all was really nice and generous, weren't y'all?
Yeah, this other one was a little rough.
Yeah.
Oh, Lawrence Taylor refused to let Abdul Carter have his number.
Lawrence
as a linebacker. He want Lawrence Taylor from the Lawrence Taylor was Buffalo Bills, I believe. He was from my hometown. He's a Hall of Famer. He was amazing. But he said Abdul Carter could not have his number.
Well.
I said, well,
okay.
All right then. He said, nope, you can't have my number. All right then.
Okay then. All right.
Yep. So
so how do you think your Steelers did overall?
Okay.
Because we have to talk about how our individuals.
I feel like drafting what was it, Derek Harmon, the first one, the defensive lineman. I think it was very smart. It gives Cam Hayward a chance to groom him, train him, make sure he is what he needs to be. The running back, I looked up his stats. He averaged 6.4 yards per carry. Najee averaged 4. 6.4 yards per carry. Hey, come on with it. Come on. He looking a little thin, but I like a little meat, but he looked a little thin. But Najee was too thick because he didn't move as fast as he needed to through them holes that they didn't make. But somehow Jaylen Warren seemed to find the holes better than Najee, which led to Najee's departure. Because if Jaylen could keep going in there getting more yards than you, why? Y'all don't want to fight with Bobby Portis. He will put you in a coma. I'm looking to the screen and they're trying to hold Bobby Porter back. Warning, PSA, you do not want to mess with Bobby Porter. Let me look at it.
What's going on?
Oh, Bobby. That was Bobby's fault. Wait a minute. Bobby, why did he walk up to him to try to get the ball? Okay, Bobby might have been out in the shed, or he must have had something in his Gatorade, because that was unnecessary. He walked up on the player who was already on the floor and tried to snatch the ball. It was already the play over.
Isn't that technical foul on that one?
He might need to go to the locker room. That looked totally unnecessary, and
they're gonna eject him for the game or give him the first.
Let me look. It's a lot going on. So they've been at each other all game. So that right there, the boy pushed him. I saw that. He don't want to mess with Bobby Porter. He knocked one of his teammates out, punched him in the face, knocked him out, and got the boy was in a coma.
Was he really in a coma? What was
he
this?
He knocked him unconscious.
What was this?
Let me look at he was at the Bulls, I think. Look it up faster than me. Yeah, I forgot what year, but they got rid of him. Bobby Portis hit his teammate, knocked him unconscious. Yeah, Chicago Bulls.
Oh.
Yeah, he knocked his teammate out. I don't know what he said to him. 2017, Portis traded blows in practice, but it was the latter that got the worst of it. He was hospitalized with a concussion, multiple facial fractures.
What? Dang. With your own teammate, though, there is no INT. Come
The
on now.
point is, some people come from a place where if you challenge them and they have to defend themselves, just like the police shoot to kill, they punch to kill. Some people really take their self-defense to another level. Now, could it be his mama was abused? Could it be he was abused? Could it be he's seen abuse? Could it be he was bullied? But you're not going to mess with him at this point. He knocked that dude out. Concussion and multiple facial fractures. So
did you pay a fine for that?
They got rid of him. He got traded. He had an 8-game suspension. And he gained a reputation for being a hothead and a troublemaker. But it was just one of those situations where, like, me and him got into it a little back and forth. We were going back and forth, this and that. I score, he score. Then he ran up on me. Push me, this and that. You can't do that to certain people.
Wow.
But see, I love Portis because Portis gives his all on the court. Bobby gonna give you rebounds. He gonna give you double-digit rebounds, and he's pretty much gonna give you a double-double almost every night. So, but anyway, the Indiana Pacers is beating the Bucks right now, 80-65, and I believe they're gonna be up 3-1. And I believe the Bucks ain't gonna win another game. They didn't get swept, but I do believe Doc Rivers will be released. I said it first here on Sports Chat with Nat. Doc Rivers will be released. Go get Nate McMillan from over there sitting beside Steve Kerr since Trae Young ran him out of Atlanta. Take him over there to the Bucks with his old school mentality, but with a little younger flavor on it. He's a big guy. He's had some championship experience. They let him go over there and give him a shot. But let Doc go on home to his grandbabies. All right, now, what else we got?
You was telling me about your draft, how you felt about the draft.
So yeah, Cam is good. The running back is good. The quarterback we got a 73% completion rating, which I'll take that over the 66 Russell was offering any day. Now, although that was college, okay, but 73 sounds good. Shedeur was 74. This boy was 73. I like it. He don't have to start playing right away.
Who y'all starter gonna be? Mason.
Probably Mason. And I'm okay with Mason. I am. Now, Skylar Thompson, listen. Most people don't even know who he is.
No, I had to. We looked him up last time to figure out.
So, I mean, he got some credentials, a little teeny weeny bit, but not much.
He was the backup quarterback for Tua.
We need a wide receiver coach that's going to teach them how to block, stay their head in the game. If the first 4 plays don't come to you, and how to run a route. We need a quarterback, huh?
Go ahead, because I'm about to ask you a question because you're going to be like, wait, what?
We need a quarterback coach and an offensive line coach that's going to make that offense. Now, I want to get rid of that offensive coordinator. I don't even want to call his name I want somebody.
Arthur, I'm about to
Shut up.
I'm about to
I
ask
want.
a question about Arthur.
What about it?
Because we just recently, my Falcons group chat, somebody posted, and I was like, wait, what? So Marcus Mariota said one of the reasons he decided he wanted to leave Atlanta, why he decided to quit on us in the thing, was because Arthur Smith was talking crazy to him. Wasn't really, yeah. So I'm like, I wonder what that was going on with him and Russell, while Russell was like, bump y'all, get rid of Arthur, or
Possibly. I didn't like his energy on the sideline. And his energy changed Tomlin's energy. Tomlin ain't never been that subdued on the sideline in all these years I've been following the Steelers. He ain't had no passion. Arthur can go where he want to go.
He said that Arthur Smith said some things that hurt his feelings, so he left the team. He also said he isn't sure if his relationship with Arthur Smith will ever be the same again. Marcus, I was like, really? I mean, we all laughed at it in our thing, but then to think about how Russell left, it was like, well, I'm not even gonna.
Russell's whole demeanor and everything changed after that Cincinnati game. Now the reports say that he stopped Russell from changing the plays at the line of scrimmage.
Look, Russell already learned one.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
He broke it.
He broke it, and it never got fixed. And I don't see how you don't see that was a problem.
Well, you know,
you're gonna have that same problem. You're gonna have that same problem with Aaron.
Which I'm still trying to figure out why y'all waiting for him.
Because, like somebody said, it's Aaron. First ballot Hall of Famer.
You think he's gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Heck yeah. A 4-time MVP. Girl, are you crazy?
But there were some other people we all thought were gonna be first ballot.
They won't no 4-time MVP in no league.
I mean, look how the league is being right now. Who knows what will happen?
Girl, please. As long as his name is Aaron Rodgers, he will be unless he pull a Pete Rose.
What did Pete Rose do?
He gambled on a game he was playing in.
Ooh.
And he never got into the Hall of Fame. He was amazing. Amazing. Pete Rose was amazing. Never got into the Hall of Fame.
That's
because he gambled. Yep.
Well, I loved what my Falcons did during draft. Yeah. For the first time, we drafted in defense, and it was amazing. And being at the stadium when they did it, and it was so hilarious because everybody was like, shh. First off, it seemed like it took forever for Roger to come up on stage, because we were like, why is it a minute left and they still haven't picked yet? What are they doing? Then Roger come up and everybody's like, shh. And then they said, Jalen Walker. And when I tell you, the whole stadium erupted. We was all excited. Everybody, for the first time in a long, and I do mean a long time, because I've been to going to draft parties. This is probably like my fourth one. I've been to a couple of ones. And this is the first time everybody, and I mean everybody, was on the same page. Last year when we did Michael Penix, everybody was more confused. There was a couple of people who were like, yeah, but most people had what? What? Wait a minute.
Really?
Well, remember, Aaron Kirk was there, so everybody was super confused.
Oh, that's right, because, you're right.
We're all very confused about Michael Penix, and now all of us were like, good job. You know?
You're right.
The year before that, they didn't have it, but I think everybody probably would have been happy with Bijan, but we didn't have a draft party then, because I think it got rained, but I also wasn't in town. But the years before that, when we did Drake London, and the year before that with Kyle Pitts, nobody was happy with, like, half of the people were happy that they chose him to be like them two to be the picks, and the other half were not. So for the first time, it was a whole collective, and I mean a collective. And we will post it. You will see my reaction. You will see everybody. I had some people behind me from UGA. They started doing a UGA chant, like, because that's where Jalen's at. I was walking it out for Walker. That was a little little pun joke, but yes. I liked it. And then to go back, and then when all of a sudden I was about to leave, and all of a sudden I saw that we traded up. I was like, what you mean we traded? So I was like, what we getting? And then we got an edge rusher, James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee. And everybody, by that time, most people were gone because nobody thought that we were going to trade up. Like, it was good. But that was a good one, too. Now, how I feel about that, we lost our first-round draft pick for next year. But it's still a whole year that, we could.
Y'all good.
We can make that up. And
yeah.
I think, and that was some things that I think were NFL, like when I was reading the analysts of like while we were like things, they were like, oh, that was an F or whatever. I'm like, y'all know trades get moved around like throughout the whole entire year. So we could probably end up getting our draft pick back plus some.
But the fact that y'all have a quarterback, a very good young quarterback, a very good young running back.
Yes. And a very good wide receivers.
Very good. So you really did need the defensive help. So that is very crucial. And yes, the Steelers really need a quarterback. But with what was out there that was available, I'm disappointed that we didn't. If I'd known Cooper was available, I would rather have Cooper Rush than Mason. Although Mason already knows the system, you can't run the same crap you've been running no way. So what difference do that make? So
where's Cooper at?
Baltimore.
What?
Baltimore, honey. He in the hood.
When this happened?
A few weeks ago.
Dang. That was dumb. That was dumb.
Very dumb.
That
very
was super dumb.
Did it dumb 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 did it dumb dumb dumb.
Like Cooper like literally held them while Dak was gone. Like
not once.
I was gonna say twice, multiple seasons that like they literally made it to playoffs because of Cooper, like not last year, except the year before then.
Yep.
So why would you get rid of your great backup quarterback?
I don't understand it.
That was dumb. That was definitely
very dumb. Very dumb. What else was dumb? What else was dumb?
Look, the Saints passing up on Shedeur was dumb to me, but at the end of the day, also I was super duper excited about that. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I was, because they still trying to figure out what Derek Carr, and when Saints fans do stupid, when they do something stupid, I mean, as a logo, I'm all excited. I'll be like, yes, keep it up. But also,
I'm excited for the season. I want to get these new rules down.
Yes. Let's see what we got this year.
And I want us to really do our little tutorial thingy. At least one. I got to figure out how we're going to do it. We got to be showing an old game. So we'll have to show an old game and share the screen. So I don't know how StreamYard works. I know it works on Zoom. So I get Vanessa to figure out how it works on here. If not, we'll have to do it on Zoom so we can share the screen and we'll just watch an old game. I'll pull up the Hulu or something and just catch one of the replay games that they play and we'll just talk them through it. And
NFL, because you know they always playing a game. So, or you can always because I have an NFL app, so I can always get the.
yeah, we can always pull up something. And so, but yeah, listen, they started some track and field stuff. Diamond League and a little outdoor something. They're getting started. I'll get you some info, but nothing yet.
Oh, also, so the Commanders agreed with the deal with with DC to build a stadium at RFK site. So this is going to be they're going to build a new stadium.
Did they say they was going back to the Redskin name?
I didn't hear that.
Was that a legitimate argument?
I have not heard that yet. That has not come. I have not seen that. But if that'll be interesting. I mean, everybody called him that's
no.
It's not. I don't think so. But I feel like it's still.
They've been urged to do it, but they say no. I love the name, the Redskins. I did.
I mean, that's all we know them as is the Reds. But I feel like I wish that they would just change their team logo, though. That's it. If you want to say it's the Commanders, I'm great at that. But just come up with a contest to come up with a logo for them. They just seem so blah with that W as their logo. Like everybody else, well, I mean, the Bears have that Chicago, like the C for Chicago, but at the same time, they also have like a bear thing too, but I don't know. I just wish they had a different, they had a logo. Like when they were doing this and they said, oh, we're gonna, because at first the Commanders was just supposed to be a temporary name for them, if you guys remember. Because remember that, Miss Natalie? That they used to, the Commanders was literally supposed to be like a temporary name for them.
I thought so too.
And then all of a sudden they made it their name. But then I feel like when they did that, it was like, okay, where's their logo? Where is the logo? And then it was like, okay, that was going to be their name. And then they were like, this is going to be their temporary logo, was that W. And now that's literally what it is. Like
just a W, yeah.
Like that's it looks like more like a college logo to me.
Yeah, it does.
I'm like, can I do something different? Have a contest where they can somebody can win something for coming up with the right logo for them.
Good idea. Good idea.
All right, if y'all take it from me, just know that we heard it first.
Right here.
First chat with Nat. Master T
said
this
on. Let me see what else. We did NBA, NFL. There's a tennis something starting May 25th, so we got time to get to that. That's all that's really happening right now. The draft, we finished the draft. I guess that's it, dog, baby. We got anything else?
French Open, that's what it is. French Open at the end of the month. Yeah.
All right. Well, once again, we've done our weekly live. We thank y'all.
Yeah, we was gonna leave y'all for a minute, but we was like, no, we gotta come on and say all this juiciness. It's too much.
Yeah, we could. I thought about it. I said by Friday, my energy for Shedeur would have changed, and I wanted to get it out. I did a little rant earlier while I was doing the Knicks Pistons game. And one of the comments was they loved my not being afraid to say what I said about Shedeur. I did have a run-in with a viewer the other night to tell me that Michael Jordan fans were the worst fans or something. I said, that's an opinion. And whatever the person's name was said that wasn't an opinion. I said, yeah, it is. You ain't got no proof.
That's like me saying Saints fans are the worst fans of the
NFL. I said there's some other fans. I said there are other fans that aren't that great. He said, I bet y'all know which ones. I said, no, you don't. I said, I tell you what, I know what we're gonna do. we're going to end this video, and I'll start another one later because this is my channel, and I ain't going to argue with you. I said, click up. I said, thank y'all for watching.
Come back on real soon.
I was already getting ready to end the video anyway because I was going to go to the next game. And whoever this person was, why are you baiting me to talk about fans? That's your opinion on Michael Jordan's fans.
That's true.
How you know they the worst fan? What? You trying to bait me? I ain't playing your game. Get off my channel.
True, that is true. Did I send you the thing that somebody had wrote? This lady had wrote on Facebook about the whole thing too.
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah, she has some points. So I've been looking at that, but yes, I feel like that was it. Also, I mean, I felt like either or if we did it, like either we did it tonight and it was still high, or we waited till Friday where things was like more stuff either was gonna come out or different thought processes, but. Who knows?
I really read somebody's comment earlier. NBA real quick. They said if the NBA doesn't do anything about the officials, the way that they call that Pistons Knick game with that guy jumping up and knocking the guy out of bounds and costing the Pistons at least the opportunity to shoot free throws. They said they think the NBA is going to really hurt themselves because that was such a bad look. Such a bad look. Now with the NFL, this Shador thing, it's a bad look. It's a very bad look. It's a Kaepernick look.
Speaking of Colin, you know he's still out here trying to like practice and stuff and like get ready for the league. I feel like
he should have went to the UFL.
Also with that, but also Colin knocked himself out because when he was supposed to be have a open practice with us, he decided to not do it and and say, "Hey, come see me 2 hours away in a different area," when he had the opportunity. So I think Colin knocked himself in the foot for that one.
Well, first of all, he had no business. If you had a problem with a social issue that affected your job or social issue, period, would you go to the hospital with picket signs to make your point?
I wouldn't go back to the hospital, period, actually. I mean, I would go back there knowing that, like, I would go to the hospital.
No, I mean, would you go to work as your job to picket and protest the social issue while you supposed to be working on duty?
Unless I knew I was about to do it for the rest and do it again. That's what I said. If it was my last day and I was like, I'm not doing this again, then
right.
Yeah.
That's where I think he made his mistake.
Right.
I think they should have planned that. They should have planned that thing in the off season. He could have orchestrated everybody to go to your capital on June the 7th at 10 o'clock in the morning, and your signs should say this and blah, 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 blah. But to do it the way he did it, I think he shot himself in the foot. I'm not saying don't protest, but I think the way he did it cost and did more harm than good.
For him, yes.
For the whole league.
Mm.
For the whole league, because they said some of the owners said if you kneel, we're going to fire you. You're going to get cut. So many things went wrong, went sideways with that thing.
Yeah.
It was just the way it was done. We all agree that it was a good cause. I just think he went about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's all. And he never could come back from that.
Yeah.
Yes, he's still practicing. Yeah, he's still holding out hope. I don't see it happening. I don't think they would ever, because didn't he make a deal with them? Didn't he accept some money?
I think he make a deal that it was like he can't, like, at this point in time. So I'm like, so what you doing? Like, hey, he might as well just go to the UFL.
If you love football that much, go to UFL or go to Canada.
Yep, that was about to be my other option, or Canada.
Go to Canada.
Or even overseas now, because there's the NFLs now, they're trying to expand it more to overseas and stuff like that.
Now, wouldn't the NFL look really stupid if he go to the Canadian Football League and win a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
If he had an agent worth his salt, he would have done something like that. And that would have really made the NFL look silly. I'm just saying.
I mean, that is true.
He telling the truth about the cause that he was defending, and then he goes, okay, you don't want me, and he go to Canada or the UFL, especially Canada more than the UFL, because that UFL look like toy football to me. But it just don't feel like football.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that would have been the best way to shut them all up, to go win a championship somewhere else. But anyway.
Well, I'm ready for Shedeur to come out to shut everybody up too.
Come out and when you come in the game, don't throw no interceptions, throw touchdowns, read the defense good. I can't say don't get sacked, but don't get sacked because you made a mistake.
I was about to say, usually that would be because his linemen don't have. But I will also hope, what I really hope that doesn't happen either, is that they don't give him a chance because of like all of this stuff. Like, I thought about that too, in a sense, like they may be like, no, like they know that they need to move him up possibly, and they just still keep him on the bench all year to make him learn a lesson.
The one thing that really kind of got me, and I'm going to still stick to this, and I'm going to let it go. The fact that Deion said no Cleveland Browns, and that's the only team that drafted him. That to me just seems like a strategic owner move to see, so you're going to talk that ish about, okay, let's see what you do. Let's see. The Browns are going to be the only team that now let's see if he take it. Or if you're going to be as arrogant as you say and tell him not to sign with the Browns. And like he said, do what? Not do what I say.
He probably said like, yo, we going to do it. But I mean, I guess he going to tell him that he going to have to navigate it. Because it was interesting listening to when the coach talked to him versus the GM. The GM was like, all right, now, nothing's ever earned or whatever like that. You got to come out here and work hard. But I'm like, dang, when you hear them talk to other people, they don't ever sound like that. Like, it sounded like he did not really want him to be drafted there. I think at the end with all of the talks and stuff that they were like, they have to draft him or it's going to be another big hoopla. Because at one point in time, I really thought, I was like, if he don't I feel like he's not going to get drafted, like, at all. I felt like he was going to end up being undrafted, like Shiloh. But we knew Shiloh probably wasn't going to get drafted anyway. But Shedeur, I really felt out there, like, how he kept going after round 3, I was like, I feel like he's not going to get drafted. And if he does, it was like, I feel like it was a power move, too, to be like, all right, well, we don't really want you, but we're just doing this to gain face because, like I said, I feel like the owners, after a minute, because I'm pretty sure they were starting to get heat from like all 32 owners. And I won't say all 32 because at the end of the day, when they were like, well, how is it that all 32 owners, not all teams didn't need him? I'm like, well, some people didn't need a quarterback. So why would they spend capital on him if they don't need one? Like, we don't need a quarterback. So why would we over there do it? All the other the Ravens don't really need a quarterback, so why are they gonna be going after all this stuff? So it's like, okay, the teams that actually do, why, like, in a sense of it, I think it was getting too much for it, that they were like, yo, somebody better draft him or it's gonna be some issues. And I don't mean just like, oh, this is thing, because now everybody, like I said, now instead of draft being really talked about, like, oh, what players, all this other stuff. We're all talking about this issue. And I think that's where the problem with the NFL did. Like the owners and all that other stuff, whatever they want to decide they want to do, they made this lesson bigger than it was supposed to be, I feel like. If you wanted to teach him arrogance and all that other stuff, okay, drop him to the second, third round. But for him to wait till day 3 and everybody has a big question mark, and you have every analyst on every single sports thing over here talking about it and stuff, you're kind of taking away from all the other players who, like, all other 250
60, was it? Because one Purdy 267, one Brock 267.
This year was, who was Mr. Rutherford? Right, and right.
What number is it this year?
Let's see. Pick. Gosh dang it, I know he's, whatchamacallit. I know he's a defensive person that went to the Patriots. 257.
Okay.
So now you learn basically negated all 256 people, because nobody really is talking more about them. They're talking more about this than they are of Cam Ward being the number 1 draft pick, Travis Huntley being number 2. Like, it's usually talk back from the number 1 to like the top 10 people, but we're talking about Shedeur, who was picked 144, which isn't, like I said, they even went back and they said about how Geno was dropped down to the 2nd round.
Yeah.
And then there was another player that he got drafted in the 3rd round, and he stayed actually at the draft. And I think he went to he did go to the Packers. Dang, I forgot. But he actually was on stage and got a chance to get his, the little draft day thing. But once again, I feel like what they were doing, I think they made it way more bigger than it was, and now it became more of a political issue than more than
like, hold it. How did we not talk about Shannon Sharpe?
Speaking of political stuff, Shannon. See, that's what I'm saying. All this stuff with Shedeur made it that other stuff gets swept under the, or not even swept, it gets pushed because everybody's more concerned about number 21. Unfortunately and fortunately for him, I feel like it puts a target on him to a certain extent that everybody has a micro lens really, really more than what Cam Ward's probably going to be on or anything like that. We always know our number 1 draft pick always has a micro lens that everybody's like, what's he doing?
Right.
But now it's really about to be like, what's Shedeur doing? Is he going to end up being a starter? Is he like how gelling well with the team? Like, so with them telling everybody, saying like, oh, don't take your own cameras, which somebody said like literally y'all have Hard Knocks. We literally have the quarterback series. Like, what do you mean don't bring your own cameras? Y'all do it all the time. The whole team has a whole social media where we can see everything that's going on. So you're really about to make the whole story about him anyway. So you can't do it that way. And back to Shannon. Shannon over there messing with. Dang, I was about to call her Becky.
Keep going.
Dang, what her name is? Anna Gabby. That's her name. Man, what in the world? What is up with a 56-year-old man talking to a 22-year-old? Okay, this is my personal opinion. I'm going to say this straight up. All those who know me, who watch this show, know I am, and know me, and I mean know me personally. This is definitely my own personal opinion. I am always for a thing of love, but there's a thing for me when it comes to age limits. I personally am not a person that likes people that are like 10-year gap and stuff. I think there's a totally different. There's 2 different mindsets, but yes. Think about in the sense of what a 56-year-old and a 20-something-year-old have in common, which is absolutely nothing except for a penis and a vagina. Matter of fact, that's not even really in common because he probably has to use Cialis, aka Viagra, and probably is lasting
I
only
don't know
10
what happened.
So, yeah. So with this whole thing of this and everything, Gabby probably gonna get paid to a certain extent just because of shut up and everything. I've heard some people say, "Oh, does that mean he's guilty?" That man already pretty much said that that's what he does, and he ain't mad at it. And he just being like, this girl just came over here and just tried to get all this money from him. This is. In my personal thing, I think it's sick because of the age difference, and that's just me because I'm just like, I don't. That's just creepy crawly to me. But hey, if you like it, I love it. It ain't me. But at the end of the day, we all found out about it, and the crazy part about it is just like, I mean, one thing I'll give Shannon with this thing with it is he's not hiding that any of and not denying any of it either. None of it.
He what?
He's not denying it.
He what?
He's not denying it.
No.
He like, yeah.
No.
I messed with her.
Yeah.
You want the sex tape too? I ain't got it, but you want to release it? Release it. I said it. So while we're giving props for that part, but also at the same time, like how they said Monique and Kat was over there talking about something you need to start, you need to mess with somebody.
Everybody told him, stop it, stop it, stop it.
Yo, somebody, my mama showed me a video of this guy, which is really hilarious, but he was making a joke how he's talking about what you have in common with a 22-year-old or something. You over here 50-something. You over here thinking about 80s music and 90s and watching all your old sitcoms like 227 and Good Times. And I was like, I mean, he ain't wrong about that because I'm pretty sure she don't know nothing about those. Especially because of with her being the same color as my jersey.
I know.
But I'm pretty sure she don't know nothing about any of these shows. And if she did, she haven't seen any of them. Like, she'd be like, what? No JJ, no Sanford and Son, you know. She like, who? What?
Yeah, she don't know.
What, you know, he over there talking about some, hey, let's do the, what's the song? Let's do the hustle or something. Or the electric slide. And she like, let's do some boots on the ground.
It's sad, but he's gone from ESPN. I don't think he will return.
Apparently he's still on his YouTube of Club Shay Shay.
Oh yeah, Shay Shay. I was already suspect with a name like Shay Shay for a man almost 300 pounds. Shay Shay. Anyway.
Shake it to the east, shake it to the west. Go, go, go. Fight, fight, fight.
Girl, stop.
I'm just saying. Right, I mean, look, I said it a million times. Let me find him all the time. I'll be like, what grown man do you know? What man? What grown man want to be like? My name is Shannon. No, don't call me Shay. Just Shay.
Call me Shay Shay.
Call me Shay Shay.
What?
What grown straight heterosexual man wants to be said Shay Shay. Anybody else, I'm cool. You'd be like, oh, that's cool. But Shannon, live in your truth. If you want to be Shay Shay, be Shay Shay. Involve, all of that. But don't be trying to over here do all this other stuff. And then all the derogatory, all the nasty stuff y'all was saying and doing. Just
yeah. I'm gonna choke you. Okay.
The black.
But anyway,
the black baby inside you.
Listen. Bless him heart. He ain't got nothing else to do. He need to find something else to do.
And he did. It was called Club Shay Shay.
Yeah, I know, but that ain't it. Well, anyway.
Well,
all right, look.
To have more time on his hands and find himself because he ain't got ESPN no more.
No, he don't.
Not for now.
Not for now. But look, ladies and gentlemen, we have spent an hour and 40 minutes chit-chatting with you guys. We hope you enjoyed it, got something out of it. Leave us a comment, replay watchers. But listen, this is entertainment only. We gave you some facts about some stuff, and some of it is our opinion. We thank you for watching. We love you. What you got?
Ja Mata. Oh, I love when them hearts come up.
I love that.
You saw them too?
Yeah.
You be
I
throwing me. I
saw.
feel like, oh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see y'all.
My
I'll be back. I'll be back
God.
one of these nights with the game. I don't know which night yet for sure.
That's it.
Bye, y'all.
Time, guys. Bye.